Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today with our series, Drawing Every Country in the World's Flag. And this one today, special episode. It's not a request. Think of it more as a dedication. So I'm dedicating this episode to somebody near and dear to me. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. First, what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to be going back into the Caribbean on the island of Hispaniola. And, we already did Haiti, so that can only mean one thing. Today, we're going to be doing the DR, the Dominican Republic. So Dominican Republic, right, gives us a lot of really good baseball players, right? And so baseball, big part of Dominican culture. And they also have a lot of really nice looking women, Madre de Dios. But let's first get into the history, right? Let's not get carried away here. So, James, I can see what you're doing. You're getting your lines where they need to be. You're starting that flag. But what can you tell us about the history of the Dominican Republic? Well, I can tell you a little something. So, Dominican Republic, right? It's kind of a good example of kind of how European cultures sort of shaped America, right? Because you got pretty big contrast between that and, say, Haiti, which is the same island but a very, very different country, right? So this country colonized by the Spanish, right? And then of course the Spanish are active in the New World, the French, the British. They all kind of bring their own flavor of culture and politics over to these regions. We're not going to talk about the British, though. Today, it's more about the French and the Spanish, right? So the French have more influence on Haiti, whereas the Spanish kind of have more influence on what's going on here, the other half of the island. So before we get to that, got indigenous people there, the Taino people. They were the inhabitants of the island of Hispaniola prior to the arrival of Europeans. So there are basically five groups there, five tribal chiefdoms. And then Columbus actually explored and claimed this island on his very first voyage in 1492. So this place actually has a lot of the firsts in all of the Americas. So like the first hospitals, the first Catholic churches were in the Dominican Republic. So a lot of tradition there. And it kind of becomes like the capital, basically, of Spain's empire in the New World. So they, set up shop there. Start trading with, other countries, bringing over, sugar and coffee, things like that were not known really to the Eastern world. So, of course, we've talked about Columbus a whole bunch of times when talking about these island countries because they all have pretty similar histories. So then in 1697, the French take over kind of the western third of the island, which becomes Haiti in 1804. And to understand why these islands are so different, you have to understand a little something about like French politics and what was going on in France at that time with like the French Revolution. Kind of spreads into Haiti, and they have a slave revolt, basically killing off and destroying like the productive class there, like massacring basically all of the European population. But you can check out my Haiti episode for more details on that. But the Dominican Republic, right, that stays Spanish. and Spain, kind of during this this period in history, is sort of losing its hold on its empire, right? So they're kind of loosening their grip a little bit on a lot of these places. And this island was, or this part of the island was Santo Domingo at that kind of at that point. They looked to gain their own independence in 1821, but the Haitians conquered it and they ruled it for about 2 decades. Haitians. So yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood there between Haitians and Dominicans, not just from that, but that is kind of part of it. And they achieved independence from Haiti as the Dominican Republic in 1844. But wait, hold on a minute, we're not there yet. In 1861, they voluntarily rejoined the Spanish Empire. So that's kind of odd, right? You don't hear about that too much in history. But that wasn't too long-lived, because in a couple years, 2 years later, they launch a war that restores their independence in 1865. So they did a little oopsie, I guess, on that one. Sorry, Spain. We don't want to rejoin you. So they've been pretty much an independent country ever since. The early 20th century, you can kind of see a lot of political upheaval there. Probably one of the most notorious guys, Rafael Leonidas Trujillo. He was a dictator from 1930 to 1961. Well, that's a little bit. So yeah, he was ruled with an iron fist in the Dominican Republic. They still did better than Haiti, though. And a lot of periods of like military coups and political instability after that, until the 1960s. The United States leads an intervention during the middle of a civil war, and then this guy, his name is Bosch. They were part of the civil war here. They were trying to restore him to power, and then this guy Balaguer defeats Bosch in a presidential election, and then he rules the country for 30 years. So we're not quite at the peace and prosperity period yet. And they kind of get cracked down on by the international community, right, for flawed elections and things like that. And then Balaguer finally curtails his term in 1996. But ever since then, this country has pretty much experienced free and fair elections. They've been fairly prosperous, right? They're kind of one of the biggest economies in the Caribbean. They're an observer member of CARICOM, but not like an actual participant in it. So yeah, and then meanwhile, right on the same island, Haiti, who 200 years ago killed off all the productive class and burned all of their plantations down and destroyed their food supply. They're pretty much in the same spot that they were 200 years ago, right? So Dominican Republic is always kind of used as like proof that your country is made of your people, right? It's not magic dirt, right? This is the exact same island that Haiti is on, right? There's no difference really in climates. One of the knocks on, or when people try to defend like Haiti's current state, it's it's not fair because they always get wrecked by hurricanes and stuff, and it's like, well, so does the Dominican Republic, right? And they bounce back from it. So yeah, there's that. And this gets pretty detailed here in this part of the flag. So yeah, it's a very, very Catholic country too, right? A lot of, the very first Catholic churches in the Western world, started here. Let's see, got to get some small markers out for this one, because yeah, it's got a very, very intricate little coat of arms in there. Just get it green. It's got like these laurel wreaths around the sides. There we go. And yeah, if you look at Hispaniola from space too, you can basically just see the border of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Because Haiti, it's like they basically destroyed like all of their trees, like, everything, and like there's no power grid. And Dominican Republic is doing pretty well. So night and day. They do have a pretty big issue with Haitians as well. I just saw a couple weeks ago they're deporting like thousands of them because of a lot of reasons, but yeah, they're Haitians a hot topic in the United States news now, and there's a reason for that, right? So it's not just the United States that doesn't want them in their country. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get out a really fine black here just to work over some of these details, because yeah, this part gets a little tricky. Yeah, all you Latin American flags with your tiny little writings here that you got on these little vans. You always got to keep me busy. All right. So yeah, as I'm doing this, it's got a white cross, right? Catholic country, so we know what the cross means. Dividing it into 4 rectangles. So blue, red, red, blue, and then it's got the coat of arms with a shield with laurel branches on the left and the right. And then the motto on the blue ribbon is Dios, Patria, Libertad, God, Father, Land, and Liberty. And watch, I'm actually going to write that, believe it or not. Yeah, zoom in. Trust me, I wrote it. And then below that, Republica Dominica. What do you think that means? Guess. Yeah, Dominican Republic. And then in the shield, kind of in the middle here, is a Bible. And the Bible is open to a verse that reads, Y la verdad nos hará libre, and the truth shall set you free. So let's see if I can write that. Yeah, close enough. All right, so on the flag, blue stands for liberty, white for salvation, and the red, can you guess? If you've watched my channel for more than 2 seconds, you know what the red on every flag means, right? The blood of the heroes, struggle for independence, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's the Dominican Republic, and then we're just going to go ahead and close our borders. All right, we're going to close the top border. We're going to close our bottom border, close our right border, and close our western border, just like how the Dominican Republic closes their border to Haitians. There we go. So that is the Dominican Republic. All right, so almost done with these Caribbean countries. I think we only got maybe 1 or 2 left. And yeah, so I mentioned before, this was a special dedicated episode to one of my fans on your birthday, and I just want to thank you for inspiring me to start this channel, and I hope you're having an awesome day. And with that, everyone else, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.